Hello class, welcome to this week's filmmaking lesson. Yeah, so I might not be here at Alice class because I'm going to Magic Kingdom to go to Adventureland. So, first, we will be doing Walt Disney Home Video releases. So, yeah, if you go to 2020 in Home Video, I'll just show you. Because I don't remember what it is. Okay, 2020 Home Video, that's why. Here we go. Okay. So it's on, let's go way back to March and see. Okay? Okay. Right. It will show up on TBA if you know this class. Okay, that's really D. Okay. So, on today, we will be doing Hocus Pocus 2023 Focus HD Blu-ray film. Here's the plot in this film. On October 31st, 1693, near Salem, Massachusetts, Thackeray Binks sees his little sister, Emily, spirited away into the cottage for three witches. There, the Sanderson sisters, Winifred, Sarah, and Mary, cast a spell on Emily to absorb her youth and regain their own, killing her in the process. Thackeray confronts the witches, who transform him into an immortal black cat cursed to live forever with his guilt for not saving Emily. The townsfolk, led by Binks' father, capture the witches, but before being hanged, Winifred's spellbook casts a curse that will resurrect the witches during a full moon on All Hallows Eve, when a virgin lights the black flame candle, unable to convince his father of his true identity as a cat. Thackeray guards the cottage to ensure no one summons the witches. 300 years later, on October 31st, 1993, on Halloween, Max Dennison is feeling unsettled from his family's sudden move from Los Angeles, California to Salem, Massachusetts. Max takes his younger sister Denny trick-or-treating, where they run into Max's new crush Ellison. Ellison mentions that her family owns the Sanderson cottage as a museum. Max, in an effort to impress Ellison, invites her to show him the Sanderson house to convince him that the witches are real. Investigating inside the cottage, Max lights the black flame candle and inadvertently resurrects the witches, who must continue to suck the souls of every child in Salem to continue living, or else they disintegrate. The witches attempt to suck the soul of Danny, but Max comes to her rescue. Escaping, Max steals Winifred's spellbook on advice from Binks. The witches pursue them to a cemetery where Winifred raises her unfaithful lover Billy Butcherson as a zombie to chase them on foot. The witches try to acclimate to the 20th century, but are horrified when they discover Halloween has become a holiday. They pursue the children across town using Mary's enhanced sense of smell. Max, Ellison, and Danny find their parents at a Halloween party at the town hall, where Winifred intends the partygoers to dance until they die. At Jacob Bailey High School, the children trap the witches in a kiln to burn them alive. While celebrating, the witch's curse revived them once again. Not realizing that the witches haven't truly died, Max and Allison open the spellbook in an effort to reverse the spell on Binks. The open spellbook reveals the location of the group, and the witches track them down and kidnap Danny and Binks and get the book back. Seiran then uses her siren-like singing to mesmerize Salem's children, luring them to the Sandersons' cottage. Max and Olsen rescue Danny and Binks by tricking the witches into believing sunrise became an hour early. Back at the cemetery, Max runs into Billy, who cuts open his stitches stitched up, mouth and insults Winifred, joining Max to protect Danny. The witches attack and Winifred attempts to suck out the soul from Danny with a single vial of potion. She retrieves from her cauldron. Binks leaps on Winifred. Okay, I have to play this one now. I'll just have to exit it. Here we go. Sorry about that, class. Okay. Alright, let's see. Alright, Binks links up Winifred and knocks the potion out of her hand into Max's, but is then thrown to the ground and injured at the spot where his sister, Emily's grave is. Rather than smashing the vial, Max drinks it in order to force the witches to take him instead of Danny. The sun rises just as Winifred is about to finish draining Max's life force, and due to standing on hallowed ground in the cemetery, she turns into a stone statue before she is disintegrated into dust along with her sisters. With the witches gone, Max, Danny, and Allison say goodbye to Billy Butchison as he returns to grave and gets to sleep. Thackeray Binks finally dies, freeing his soul. Appearing as a spectral, Thackeray Binks thanks Max, Danny, and Allison for their help and bids farewell to them before reuniting with the spirit of his sister Emily. A gate door opens, and Thackeray and Emily walk through it out to heaven, fading away as the gate door closes and Max, Danny, and Allison happily watch them depart. At the end credits begin, the exhausted partygoers, including Max and Danny's parents, Dave and Jenny, who are freed from the now broken spell and return home, oblivious to their enchantment. Meanwhile, at the Sandersons' cottage, Jin Ice, two bullies who earlier tormented Max and Jenny and were captured by the witches after inadvertently insulting them, remain imprisoned in their cages and sing Row, Row, Row on your boat to pass the time. The film ends with Winnie's spellbook opening its eye, revealing it is still alive and the witches could possibly return again. Alright. Here we go. On Wednesday, we will be doing... tomorrow we will be doing... A Christmas Carol, 2009 Blu-ray reissue film. Here's a plot in this film. In 1843, on Christmas Eve, Ebenezer Scrooge, his miserly old businessman, does not share the merriment of Christmas. He declines his cheerful nephew Fred's invitation to a Christmas dinner party and rejects two gentlemen's offer to collect money for charity. His loyal employee, Bob Cratchit, asks Scrooge to allow him to have a day off on Christmas Day to spend time with his family, to which Scrooge reluctantly agrees before leaving. In his house, Scrooge encounters the ghost of his deceased business partner Jacob Marley, who warns him to repent his wicked ways, or he will be condemned in the afterlife like he was. Carrying heavy chains forged from his own greediness, Jacob informs Scrooge that he will be haunted by 3 spirits who will guide him out of his misery. First, Scrooge is visited by the candlelight ghost of Christmas past, who takes him back in time to his childhood and early adult life. They visit Scrooge's boarding school, and Scrooge sees his sister Fan, who became the mother of Fred. Scrooge later begins a successful career in business and money lending as an employee under Fezziwig, and he becomes engaged to a woman named Belle. However, the ghost shows Scrooge how Belle left him when he became obsessed with wealth. A devastated Scrooge extinguishes the spirit with his Kindle snuffer cap and is rocketed back to the present. Next, Scrooge meets the merry ghost of Christmas present, who shows him the joys and wonder of Christmas Day. Scrooge and the ghost visit Bob's house, learning his family is content with their small dinner. All the while, Scrooge starts to take pity on Bob's ill son, Tiny Tim. The ghost abruptly ages, commenting that Tiny Tim will likely not survive until next Christmas. The ghost warns Scrooge about evils of ignorance, and Big Ben begins tolling midnight as ignorance and want manifest themselves before Scrooge as 2 wretched children who grow into violent, insane individuals, leaving the spirit withering away. Finally, the ghost of Christmas yet to come arrives, appearing as a dark shadow, and takes Scrooge into the future, where he witnesses a group of businessmen discussing the death of an unnamed colleague, saying they would only attend the funeral if lunch is provided. After being chased across London by the ghost, Scrooge recognizes his charwoman, Mrs. Dilber, selling the stolen possessions of the deceased. Shortly afterwards, Scrooge sees the aforementioned colleague's body on a bed, followed by a vision of a family who is relieved that he is dead. As they have more time to pay off their debt, the spirit transports Scrooge to Bob's residence. Discovering that Tiny Tim has died, Scrooge is then escorted to a cemetery where the ghost points out his own grave, revealing Scrooge as a man who died. Realizing the consequences upon his actions, Scrooge decides to change his ways, just as the ghost forces him to fall into his empty coffin, lying in a deep grave that sits above the fires of hell. Waking up in his own room on Christmas Day, with love and happiness in his heart, a gleeful Scrooge decides to surprise Bob's family with a turkey dinner and ventures out with the charity workers and the citizens of London to spread happiness to the city, and later attends his nephew's annual Christmas dinner, where he is warmly welcomed. The following day, he gives Cratchit a raise and becomes a father figure to Tiny Tim, who escapes death, and a changed man. Scrooge now treats everyone with kindness, generosity, and compassion. He now embodies the spirit of Christmas. All right. Alright. On Wednesday, we will be doing Mickey's Christmas Carol Blu-ray reissue 1983 film. Well, there it is. Here's the plot in this film. Sorry. On Christmas Eve, in 19th century London, Ebenezer Scrooge, played by Scrooge McDuck, is a chilling moneylender who does not share the merriment of Christmas. He declines his nephew Fred, Donald Duck's invitation to Christmas dinner, then brushes off two gentlemen, Rat and Mole, fundraising aid for the poor. His loyal employee, Bob Cratchit, Mickey Mouse, requests to have half of Christmas Day off, to which Scrooge reluctantly accepts, but says Cratchit would be docked half of a day's pay. Scrooge continues his business and goes home just before midnight. In his house, Scrooge encounters the ghost of his former business partner, Jacob Marley, Goofy, who warns him to repent his wicked ways, or he will be condemned in the afterlife like he was, informing him that 3 spirits will visit him during the night. On 1 o'clock, Scrooge is visited by the ghost of Christmas past, Jiminy Cricket, who takes him back in time to his early adult life. They visit his time as an employee under Fezwick, Mr. Toad. Fezwick throws a Christmas party where the young Scrooge meets a young woman named Isabel, Daisy Duck, whom he falls in love with. However, the ghost shows Scrooge how Isabel left him when he chose money over her. A distraught Scrooge dismisses the ghost as he returns to the present, limiting his past actions. At 2 o'clock, Scrooge meets a gigantic merry ghost of the present, Willie the Giant. Scrooge and the ghost visit Bob's house, learning his family is surprisingly content with their small dinner. Scrooge takes pity on Bob's ill son, Tiny Tim, played by Mortal Mouse. The ghost comments that Tiny Tim will not survive until the next Christmas and then disappears. Scrooge is then transported to a cemetery where he meets the ghost of Christmas Preacher, later revealed to be Pete, who appears as a silent, cloaked, cigar-smoking figure. When Scrooge inquires about Tiny Tim, the ghost reveals that Tim has died. As a devastated Scrooge asks if this event can be changed, he sees 2 grave-diggers, weasels, who are amused that no one attended the funeral of the men whose grave they are digging. As soon as the grave-diggers are gone, the ghost reveals the man who died to be Scrooge. Now terrified out of his wits, Scrooge decides to change his ways once and for all, and as a ghost shoves him into the grave, where his empty coffin opens to reveal the gateway to hell. Awakening in his bedroom on Christmas Day, Scrooge decides to surprise Bob's family with a turkey dinner and ventures out to spread happiness and joy around London. He accepts Fred's invitation and then donates a sizable amount of money to the gentleman he earlier spurned. Scrooge then goes to the Cratchit house, at first putting on a stern demeanor. Scrooge reveals that he brought foods and gifts for them and intends on raising Bob's salary and making him his partner in his counting house. Scrooge and the Cratchits happily celebrate Christmas. Alright. On Thursday, we will be doing Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas and Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas 2 movie collection Blu-ray reissue. Well, we're doing first is 1999 film. Well, here's the story of Donald Duck. Stuck on Christmas. It's about it's about on Thursday, okay? Let's do on Thursday. Let's do Thursday, okay? Here we go. Donald Duck Stuck on Christmas. Inspired by the 1892 short story Christmas Every Day by William Dean Howells, Huey, Dewey, and Louie wake up on Christmas morning and open their presents, even though they are supposed to wait first for Daisy, Uncle Scrooge, and Gertie to arrive. After the boys take their new sleds under their Uncle Duck, Donald, not reading the included gift card, they go sledding and have Christmas dinner in which Donald yells at them to learn their manners, while Donald, Daisy, Uncle Scrooge, and Aunt Gertie sing carols. The boys play with their new toys. Later, it is time for the boys to go to bed, and having enjoyed the day immensely, the boys would then wish for it to be Christmas every day. Their wish is granted, and at first, the three are joyful. After a few days, however, they begin to get tired of Christmas and soon realize that every day will be exactly the same as the day when they first made their wish. They then decide to change the course of action of the next day by playing tricks on pranks, including swapping the cooked turkey with a live one for the dinner table. The day turns out to be a bad Christmas for everyone, especially Donald. After this, the boys finally read the card that was given to them, which they had previously disregarded. The card is from Donald and Daisy, which wishes them love and explains that Christmas is not just about presents. It is also about being with family. The boys instantly become guilty for their pranks and decide to make amends by making the next day the best Christmas ever. At the end of the next day, the boys finally realize the true meaning of Christmas and the time loop ends, leading into the day after Christmas. Okay, a very goofy Christmas. Goofy and Max are mailing out a letter to Santa Claus. However, as soon as they get home, Pete, the neighbor, tells Max and Santa does not exist, predicting that he cannot fly around the world in one night. Things get worse when Goofy poses as Santa for some kids and Max finds out that he tricked him. Goofy is determined to prove to Max that Santa does exist, and even stays up all Christmas Eve to keep an eye out for him while Max, still bitter over Goofy's trickery, wishes for him to move on, but after a long time, and after mistaking a Beagle Boy who was robbing Pete's house for Santa and falling off the roof, Goofy gives up hope of Santa coming. Now Max does everything that Goofy did not make his father happy, including posing as Santa. In the end, the real Santa actually comes and gives Max the gift that he had asked for earlier, as well as blowing some snow on Pete's house. When the cunning neighbor tries to flatter the legendary figure, when Max asks Santa forgot Goofy's present, Goofy answers that every year he asks for the same thing, and every year he always gets it, Max's happiness. This segment of Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas chronologically precedes the cartoon series Goof Troop. Max is voiced by Sean Fleming. Alright, right now, Mickey and Minnie's Gift of the Magi. Based on the 1905 short story The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry, Mickey wants to get Minnie a gold chain for her one heirloom, her watch, so he works at Crazy Pete's tree a lot. Minnie wants to give Mickey something special for Christmas as well, so she works hard at her job in the department stores to get a special bonus. When Mickey gives a short tree to a poor family who are unable to buy a peat 10-footer tree, his uptight and greedy boss, Pete, steals all of Mickey's money and dismisses him from the store. Then Pete accidentally puts his still lit cigar into his pocket with Mickey's money without noticing, which eventually sets himself the money and his tree on fire, destroying his chance to sell his expensive 10-footers. Meanwhile, Minnie's bonus from her stingy boss, Mortimer Mouse, proves to be nothing but a fruitcake. After playing music for a toy drive with a Firehouse 5, Mickey has the idea that he can trade his harmonica for the chain. The shop closes by the time he gets there, and the owner rejects it, thinking it is not worth anything, but changes his mind after hearing its music. Back at Minnie's house, Mickey gives her the chain for her watch, and Minnie gives him a case for his harmonica. Of course, the irony is that Minnie no longer has her watch, just as Mickey no longer has his harmonica. So the gifts are essentially useless, as in the gift of the Magi upon his watch is adaptation penned by O. Henry, is based with the thought behind each gift is what counts. The film concludes with a medley of various songs, Jingle Bells, Deck the Halls, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas, featuring the main characters from the 3 segments. Alright. Alright. On KM. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. On Friday, we will be doing Mickey's Twice Upon a Christmas 2004 film. Here's the stories of this one. The narrator recites the first 10 words of The Night of Christmas before saying, "Oh wait, different story, but we'll still see a mouse." The narrator then announces, "New tales of grieving and loving," and a book opens to show pop-up elves. Right, Bells on Ice. The narrator said it all started on the first segment when Minnie Mouse and Daisy Duck were competing on an ice skating competition. The girls each are joined by their boyfriends, Mickey and Donald, as they prepare to take on the ice. Daisy becomes envious of the crowd's reaction to Minnie. And attempts to steal the spotlight for herself. Minnie performs several daredevil stunts to begin the spotlight, while Daisy summons the Fantasia Hippos, who become her backup skaters with her counterpart. Summons the alligators from the 1940 film. Fed up, Daisy and Minnie argue and shove each other, putting each other at risk, and then try putting dramatic stunts to draw the attention of the crowds. As Mickey and Donald watch with worry, when Minnie accidentally slips on a fallen handbell while landing from a stunt, blindfolded, Daisy helps Minnie while feeling sorry for her actions. Minnie feels the same way, and they perform a grand finale. Christmas Impossible. The second segment tells the story of Huey, Dewey, and Louie celebrating Christmas Eve with Donald and Daisy Duck at Uncle Scrooge's mansion at Duckburg. After causing trouble at dinner time, the boys know that they are on the naughty list for sure, so they travel to the North Pole to write their names on Santa's good list. At Santa's workshop, the trio cause more trouble, such as messing the elves' jobs up, but the elves help clean up the mess and save Christmas. Before they leave, they look into an opportunity to add their names to the good list. However, they add Uncle Scrooge's name instead, mindful of the fact that he was never written onto the list either. On Christmas Day, Santa leaves then a note that explains that their actions have caused them to be also put on the good list. Christmas Maximus. The third segment focuses about Max Goof and his father Goofy celebrating the holidays. A young adult, Max, brings home his girlfriend, Mona, to meet his father. Goofy, however, Max is unsure whether or not he wants Mona to meet his dad. Most of the story takes place within the song Make Me Look Good. Max at first is embarrassed by his dad, who shows baby pictures to Mona and wipes cocoa off Max's face. While wandering outside, he notices that his scarf is made by Goofy and realizes that Goofy is always, Goofy, and that is why he loves him. Then Max then forgets about being embarrassed and decides to join in the fun when the popcorn making machine goes haywire. Max tries to stop the machine, but it has popcorn filling with clothes until he lets go. He becomes embarrassed after having his clothes inflate in front of his girlfriend. Mona flies across the room. Goofy tries to stop it next, but he is swung around in the air by the machine. Max, Goofy, and Mona are all pushed up by the popcorn through the chimney and onto the roof. Following this, Mona then reveals to have the same kind of teeth like Goofy and Max. They all laugh and make snow angels on the roof. Donald's gift. The fourth segment focuses on Donald Duck and his Christmas wish of peace and quiet. Daisy Duck and Huey, and Louie also appear as Donald returns home from grocery shopping. He daydreams and misses his bus. He runs to catch after it, but he was slowed down by a series of well-wishers that begin to sing We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Donald becomes increasingly annoyed by the joyous people, and at home he is annoyed to hear the same Christmas carols on his radio. When Daisy and his nephews arrive, Donald becomes annoyed that they want to go out so soon after he returned home. But Daisy drags him out at the mall. Donald grabs a cup of hot chocolate and discovers various objects seeming to play the same Christmas carol. Donald thinks he is in complete peace inside the secret room, where he finds an animatronic singing. Donald immediately wrecks until he notices he's destroying the show at Mousie's. That Daisy, Huey, and Louie, and also the crowd were trying to see. Dewey tricks Donald into being heartbroken by saying Donald is not their uncle anymore, and Daisy agrees to leave with the boys after he is thrown out by the mall guard of his lack of Christmas spirit and destroying the Mousie's show. Donald walks home alone while feeling guilty for his lack of Christmas spirit. He finds Christmas carolers having trouble with singing We Wish You a Merry Christmas, to which he urges to mentor the performers in singing. The other town residents join in to sing along. When Daisy, Huey, and Louie arrive, Donald apologizes and everyone happily sings the song. Eventually Donald, who gets used to it. Mickey's Got Doggone Christmas. The fifth and final segment stars Mickey as he makes decorations for the Christmas party, which Pluto keeps interrupting. Pluto attempts to help by putting the star on the tree, but when he inadvertently destroys all the decorations, especially knocking down on the Christmas tree, a frustrated Mickey yells at his dog and sends Pluto to his doghouse as a punishment. Upset and feeling that his owner doesn't love him anymore, Pluto decides to run away from home and then finds himself shipped to the North Pole, where Santa's reindeer adopt him. Back at home, Mickey redecorates the house and, ashamed of how he unleashed his anger and at Pluto, attempts to reconcile with him, only to find him missing. Mickey posts several lost dog posters and eventually turns into a department store. Santa, who turns out to be the real one. Meanwhile, Pluto becomes homesick, to which Santa and the reindeer help Pluto return home. As Mickey's friends arrive, Pluto completes the Christmas tree decorations and everyone celebrates Pluto's return. Even Donald and Daisy Duck, who had just showed up with Hiiragi and Louie, Uncle Scrooge, Max, Goofy, and Minnie Mouse, who is also enhanced by the decorations. The film concludes with a medley of various carols as the book closes. Alright, that's all the Walt Disney Home Video releases we got. So second, we will be doing Emma Monkey Pictures and Roman Carol Productions and Doggy Teeth Company shorts. It is about the first day of October when everything goes wild. They unfortunately showed up and just have the leaves going out and then bring some pumpkins together and make jack-o'-lanterns together. Alright, that's all the shorts we got. On third, we will be doing Samsung Galaxy Note 20 series. It is about Mei, who is getting used to it when the Black Viper arrives. Mei goes out with Senator Tama. She inadvertently that the Black Viper is only the one that Hurricane Teddy was been washed away to Nova Scotia, and Black Viper arrives and destroys Mei just before not long after the bear arrives. Yuna arrives to rescue Mei and Senator Tama, who releases the bear punch and then inadvertently Black Viper dies. And then when two girls arrive, they reconcile each other and they see a girl who turned out to be an idol, but she was an idol. She was just a magical girl as well from the other film. And so the girls have found that the monsters has been inadvertently destroying all these cities. But not long after, the other girl named the magical girl who inadvertently goes out and maybe instead of a Taba and the magical girls go for their trip as rare Romanesque girls find their job and she rides a train with the magical girls and Mei and then they arrived at Gatineau, Quebec and had to stay at the hotel and unfortunately she found out that the weekend was really October. Alright, that's all I got for today. Let's do some work now. Hello, Sharkima. Hey, Makoto. You wanna get going? Yeah, let's get going to Magic Kingdom. Okay, we'll just have to go to Magic Kingdom and we'll have to buy a hotel there. Yeah, we need to go to Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. And then we should go to what was that called? I don't know, like you tell me. I'm just saying that we should go to oh yeah, Jungle Cruise, huh? Yeah. And we should go to Jungle Navigation, TDCO, Skipper's Canteen. Yeah. And we should go to DC's Wilderness Lodge. Yeah. That sounds great to me. Yeah, I hope so. When we join. We're joining a food and wine festival, so we need to eat some food. Yeah, I like food. Do you like food? Yeah. I guess it's probably a good thing to do. Really, Sakura? Yeah, I always do. Let's see. You know what? I just love that food and wine festival. It's so cool. Yeah, I know that, huh? Yeah. Okay. So we should get to the top here. Yeah. We're gonna go by train and we'll go by plane. Okay. Good. Is it really great though outside? Yeah, it looks like a railway trip, right? Yeah, but we had to go to flight trip, right? We had to go to flight trip. Yeah. Okay. How do you go for a ride trip? The ride trip, huh? Let's see now. The ride trip should be that way. Oh, right UP Express. Yeah, that looks like it. Look it up. What's that? Things haven't gotten better, huh? Yeah, I just hope so. I think it's like all these things like everything has been everything has been one traumatized, but it was traumatized. I know because it has been to do with us. I know. Um, what's the matter? Um, I just wanted to say that we can make friends in October, huh? Well, yeah, we should make friends on October 12th, right? Yeah, we should make friends on October 12th. Okay. On Thanksgiving Canada, we should make a small turkey. Yeah, I hope so. Hey, do we have to make a big turkey over there? A big turkey? Yeah, a big turkey. Cause we're a lot of friends. Yeah, a lot of friends. A lot of my friends. Yeah. We still have 2 days away until October. Yeah, I just hope so. Yeah, ten, we still have 10 days, 2 days away. Okay. Right. Before October 1st, it was just September 30th. Yeah. Oh gosh, we're at this plane. Yeah. It looks really cool out there. Yeah. It's really cool in there. It's like it's wintry. Yeah. What's the matter? I'm afraid we get fall. Yeah, we get fall, huh? Yeah. We get fall for the winter. Yeah. Do we think we should just relax ourselves a while we were here with your winter clothes on? No, I like it. That's good to know. I just wonder, like, even though it's just how it is. Cool. So okay. I think it should be good. Yeah. Looks like a good Orlando, Florida. We're arriving at Orlando, Florida, huh? Yep. We're arriving to it. Okay. We're almost there. To landing. Okay, we're almost there to landing, huh? Yep, to landing, and then we'll have to get off the plane, and we'll have to go to Orlando International Airport to get my luggage, and then we should go to for California Wine Festival. Yeah, we need to put our luggage to Disney's Wilderness Lodge so we can go for our trip. Yeah, we can have some fun at Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. Yeah, and we should just go by ourselves to Jungle Cruise. And we should go to Jungle Navigation, the TDCO, What was that called? Skipper's Canteen? Yeah. And then we should go to Disney's Wilderness Lodge. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Yep, pretty cool. Okay. Makeda, what's that? I love you. I love you too. Well, if you can say you love each other, that's probably love each other. I know, Philizzer. Okay. Well, where do we have to go next? We have to go next to we have to take the bus to Disney's Wilderness Lodge. Oh, you mean it? Yes. We should take the bus to Disney's Wilderness Lodge so we can put our luggage into our room. Yeah. Okay. So that's it. Okay. You know what? We should take our luggage together before we get to hotel. Okay. Let's just say we can get our luggage together so we can put in stuff in my so we can shrink it up. Shrink it down? You mean shrink it down? You mean shrink it down? Yeah, I can shrink it down and I'll put this to my pocket. Oh, so you call it magical luggage, huh? Yeah, cool. Okay. So you're putting a magical luggage in your pocket, huh? So it's called small, right? Yeah, I'm gonna turn them to tiny a little bit, and then I won't squash it. Okay. You won't squash it, huh? No, it might disappear if I squash it. Okay. That's good to know. So, what do you think? Okay, ride that bus. Okay. So, what do you have to do? We should probably go to Epcot. Yeah, I like the Epcot, huh? I like Epcot too. We should go to Epcot and we'll have to go to Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. Yeah, I like that one. I like that one too. There's lots of rides to go in there. Yeah. So what? Shall we just get off this thing and we'll have to go to Epcot International Food and Wine Festival? Yeah, I think we should do. 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 Okay, we'll just have to go get off this ride and we'll have to or be at Epcot International Food and Wine Festival to post on YouTube. Yeah, good idea. All right, let's turn it off anyway. Okay. Okay, good.